I'm going to get my shopping done.
Ho, 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 Jess!
What the hell are you doing?
I'm Santa Voice!
No. No. You cannot be Santa.
Well, why not? What else would you call a magical and or imaginary fat man that brings you gifts? Even if that gift is knowledge.
Okay. I know we were never that thorough with your lore, but for another smash of the fourth wall, you're played by a Jewish man.
Well, of course Santa is Jewish. Who else would work on Christmas?
I'm so done with... Just start the recap.
Whether you're talking about the gift-giving patron saint of toy makers or Coca-Cola's holiday mascot, Santa has been part of the zeitgeist for centuries.
And the latest interpretation is an anime on Amazon Prime called Sanda. The anime opens on December 25th with two students in a classroom. Fuyumura, a tall, awkward, emo-ish girl, and Sanda. He's about as much of a golden retriever as a teenage boy can get. And this story begins the way so many epics before it has. With attempted murder.
Sanda is saved by the bell, literally, as the rest of their class comes into the room. Understandably dwelling on the events that just unfolded, Sanda draws the conclusion that this was Fuyumura's attempt at a love confession.
Of course!
Really?
No.
Very quickly, this enemy throws a lot of information at us in fairly subtle ways. There's a missing student named Ono who is presumed dead. This is an odd future where it seems the seasons don't change like they used to. People are aware of Christmas, but it's talked about like it's some long-lost tradition to the ages only remembered in books and legend.
So given all of that, when it suddenly starts snowing, it's understandable that all the students are in awe. Except for Sanda, who has a sudden heart attack.
Oh, but don't you worry, because this was all a freaking conspiracy by Fuyumura. It was all part of her little plan, because, you see, if Sanda were to brush off being threatened with concern for another person, and then offered a requested gift, Fuyumura asked for his eraser, all while it snowed on December 25th, then the descendant of Santa could get his Santa Claus powers!
What? What the fuck?
Yes, the only missing element is that Sanda must be wearing something red, and since he refuses to, Fuyumura has only one recourse left.
She stabs him! Yeah, she stabs him, because apparently that counts as wearing something red!
I'll allow it.
No!
Then, in a spectacular transformation that would make Sailor Moon blush, Sanda becomes Zaddy Santa.
Sanda is freaking out over learning that he has the family curse and that Fuyumura figured it out. And we learn that the only way to change him back is for him to eat candy, possibly a reference to the original Santa's need to eat cookies.
The next day, Fuyumura continues testing Sanda's Santa powers. She concocts a brilliant way to show his devotion to children's welfare.
A bomb! She hides a bomb in the classroom, makes Sanda transform. Sanda transforms and goes Santa mode. Santa says he's a terrorist, makes everyone evacuate, and then, barely with enough time to get to cover Fuyumura before her bomb actually fucking explodes.
Yes, the bomb was real. Luckily, though, as you'd expect, Santa is fireproof. And while the initial shockwave virtually destroys their classroom, Sanda is able to keep Fuyumura safe.
And that was all episode 1. I need some fresh air. You speedrun the next episode. I'll be back.
Well, alright then. Key points. In episode 2, we learn that only about 1% of Japan's population is below the age of 15. They have changed the laws to protect children to the point that they can practically get away with murder. This is an important thing to know, because apparently a fellow student named Amaya saw Sanda transform and contain the explosion. So Amaya kidnaps Sanda and Fuyumura. Sanda wakes up in Santa mode, and while Amaya is messing with them, they almost get caught by the school's headmaster. A very unsettling man who, despite his youthful appearance, is in his 90s. He threatens to take Amaya to the semi-basement, where the trouble students go. But Sanda go gadgets some skis out of his feet and gets them all to safety. Amaya admits he really did all of this because he wants Santa to come back and bring joy to the world again, to help people and his family. Thus, giving us the classic anime main character trio roster. But then we learn the headmaster was actually expecting Santa to turn up all along, and he calls in the Santa Task Force.
I'm back. Did you finish episode 2? Good. Episode 3 opens on a man at a shooting range who looks like a love child between Ayazawa and Spike Spiegel. But enough about him. Time for a new Santa power.
Yes, apparently one of Sanda's powers is that if people lie around him, things will fall over. The bigger the lie, the more things will break as a result. They use this as a way to get information about Ono.
This actually gives them some information, and then later that day, they actually see Ono in the school!
Santa tries to go gadget ski after her, but she manages to get away. But this does revitalize Fuyumura's spirit.
The next day, the school, rather spontaneously, decides to hold a funeral for Ono, and the headmaster secretly places the Santa Task Force as the catering staff.
Shota Spiegel sneaks off to grab a smoke break, but overhears our main trio talking about the situation with Ono and Sanda's role as Santa.
And unable to ignore what he just heard, he shoots Sanda.
I did not see that coming.
Yes, apparently that is the end of episode 3. So if you want to know what happens to Sanda, you'll just have to tune in and watch.
Despite all of our over-the-top reactions, we do genuinely think it's worth a watch. And you should genuinely go watch it on Amazon Prime.
Let us know what you think down in the comments section down below. And as always, happy holidays.